the city, back of my neck getting dirt and gritty. Bend down, isn't it a pity? Doesn't seem to be a shadow in the city. All around, people looking half dead, walking on the sidewalk harder than a match head. But at night it's different.
Welcome to the kNights podcast. I am Keikoa.
And I'm Ben. It's a hot town, muchachos.
Oh, it's a hot one tonight.
Hot town somewhere in the city.
It's like melty here in the studio. Just localized hot.
Well, it is the peak of the heat wave this week.
Now?
Today is the day.
Of course it would be today.
I think the high here is 101.
In some places you're listening to this, you probably think, that's nothing.
It's a dry heat. Bring that back again.
This
is a humid heat.
I was going to say, this ain't no dry heat.
And there's a fire going on out in, where is it, Santa Clarita?
Is that what caused that horrible
so
color?
This blanket of heat just kind of coming this way.
Yeah,
the sky's all dark.
As if the weather wasn't trying to kill us already. They got that going for us. Oh my gosh. It is hot, so if we start slurring words or passing out...
if you hear one of these, just like...
imagine one of us went down, or both of us. It was just that sound and then silence for a while. We'll wake up eventually.
The sound of shallow breathing.
We try to recover consciousness. Yes.
It's like hypoxia, but for heat. Whatever that's called.
Heatpoxia?
I can't think of it because it's too hot.
It's too hot to think. It's like headphones. They're melting to my face. Or is my face melting to the headphones? I think we're becoming one. Oh, we better move on before I had to finish that sentence. I had something for that, but moving on. I had something.
Something. Anyway.
What do we got there, Ben? What do we got?
We got a round table.
Round table.
Round table.
Ha ha.
Aye.
Ha.
The table's quite round.
Not sure what's going on with that one.
I don't know what we're doing.
It might be like that too. It might be weird like that. We're not on drugs. Maybe it'd be more fun.
I'm high on life, man.
I believe life is trying to kill me, actually.
But you will survive.
I think that's questionable. Some would say I'm already dead on the inside. And my body just doesn't know when to stop.
Or does it?
Just can't stop.
So,
what is your question, sir?
As we alluded to in the last podcast, this will be a very Pokemon-filled podcast.
Poke-centric, if you will.
Okay. Centric.
Yeah.
And to kick things off with our roundtable question, which Pokemon would be the most delicious, the best to eat?
Wow, I got dark. Neat. Okay. Right now? The first thing that came to mind was something roasted, because it's like, it'd be like a roasted thing, but...
You know, in the series, the original series, when Ash first came across the Farfetch'd, it actually said, Farfetch'd, a wild duck Pokemon. Farfetch'd makes a delicious meal, especially when cooked with leek.
Which
because of this, Farfetch'd is nearly extinct. And he carries a leek
with him.
A meal to go.
Oh,
ready to cook.
It's too dumb to know.
Roast duck. Officially in the show.
Wow.
Another thing that was officially in the show was when Ash caught the Krabby and he sent it to the professor's lab. And he's like, Professor Oak's like, "Are you trying to eat my Krabby?" or Ash was telling Professor Oak to not eat his Pokemon.
Because he was going to?
Like he was like steaming a pot of heat.
A pot of
Hot water.
Hot stuff.
Liquids. A boiled crab. Make some Krabby Patties.
Well, I mean, you gotta imagine, like, Pokemon are essentially the animals of that world, so yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it seems weird to us, but that's their animals over there. I don't even know if they have... Okay, they have a cow and it stands up, which is weird. So, when you think of it that way, it's like, of course they eat Pokemon. Right? It's just like their version of...
They're like, I'd get a Ditto until it would turn into a pizza.
But it still tastes like chicken.
It all tastes like chicken.
All Pokemon taste like chicken?
All of them. Even the legendary ones.
Just really cold chicken, really hot chicken, and really electric chicken? That's an electric chicken.
The most electrifying chicken you've ever tasted.
That's Zapdos chicken. One of a kind. I would say, though, during this heat, I would go with the Vanillux.
What?
Are we going only original Pokemon?
I don't really know too much of the new ones. I know the original 151.
Yeah, well, it's easy. I had to go... Well, I knew what I was looking for, because this one's not like... It's definitely in the later ones, but check it out. Vanillux Pokemon.
Okay.
And you'll know exactly why I picked that one for purposes of this.
Vanillux. It's an ice cream cone.
Yeah. It's a sentient ice cream cone.
That's weird.
They were I'd say running out of ideas and just looking at items around their house and then turning them into Pokemon.
Vanillite. It's just a one scooper.
Right.
Vanillux is a deluxe. It's a double scooper.
It's an ice cream that evolves. That just gotta blow the minds out of evolution. Yeah. Ice cream evolves into 2 scoops. That's how you get 2 scoops. It's evolution. But it seems, although, then again, the thought of eating a sentient ice cream seems terrifying because then it'd be screaming, I guess, as you eat it. Or would you have to kill your ice cream first? I gotta
murder this ice cream.
break the ice cream's neck before you can eat it. That actually is kind of weirder. Yeah.
Some young Jigglypuff meat.
I don't know what that would taste.
Because if it's too old, then the meat gets wiggly tough.
That's all set up there.
Yeah.
I feel like that would taste mostly marshmallow.
Get a food coma that way. Put you right to sleep.
Pokemon jokes. Hopefully you're getting some of these. Hopefully whoever's listening to this has access to... Wait, you didn't pick your or were you going to eat the Farfetch'd? Or the crab?
Maybe the Execute. It's like a dozen eggs. Make an omelet.
It does
Make me an omelet. With extra bacon.
I'm trying to think if there was a bacon Pokemon. That would go along with that. Is there a potato Pokemon?
Well, there's T-Pig.
There you go.
Spoink.
Spoink.
Or Pig Knight. Or Swinub. Hmm? They're all pig Pokemon.
There you go. You can pick anything from there and
Oink, oink.
put them together.
I nickname him Bacon.
That Pokemon's delicious.
Would you eat Togepi?
It's kind of like...
It's like eating Balut.
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, I wouldn't even... It's something like that already exists, and I wouldn't even eat it. Ew. But then again, the executes are basically sentient eggs.
Yeah.
So...
And then somehow they turn into a palm tree thing.
Because that's how you get eggs.
Yeah.
From trees. Makes sense.
You get one of the legendaries, then you'd be the only person to ever taste that.
It's all worth the hunt. I caught it. Now I can eat it.
What did it taste like? Chicken. Electric chicken.
Come, try our electric chicken. But yeah, I don't know the original ones.
I bet you it's quite juicy.
If your belly button is gnawing at your backbone, come on into Juicy's. We got what'll
That's
cure
where you'd
you.
find Tippig.
The best food in the country is right here. Get your giant western sausages.
Yeah.
We have Texas-sized smoked turkey legs. The tastiest half-pound hamburgers around. And don't forget our mountains of curly fries. We also have jumbo corn dogs. And to quench your thirst, we have lemonade, and more lemonade.
Lemonade.
Come
We have
on in,
lemonade.
folks. You won't be hungry after leaving Juicy.
Juicy.
I think we talked, and I'm pretty sure we talked about that on one of the podcasts. The fair.
That's going on right now.
You can't go anywhere in the fair without hearing that coming from somewhere.
Well,
That
they
voice.
got multiple Juicy's locations for the same fair in OC, and then when it moves to LA, same thing. Exactly the same thing.
I feel like they have an overhead map, and they're like, okay, here's a radius of one Juicy's, and then you just put one right on the outside, so you walk from one into the radius of the other one. So
like-
you're never within 500 meters of without a Juicy's.
It's like spacing out your shield generators in an RTS game.
You gotta put them just outside
You
each
want
other.
slight overlap, but you want maximum coverage.
Yeah, that's how Juicy's rolls. So
Belly
you-
button gnawing on your backbone. Come to Juicy's. Taste some of that Pitmaster privilege.
But yeah, for those that don't know, that's from the fairs around here. The
But the
OC.
Pitmaster-
Well, that one's not.
It's YouTube.
That's YouTube. Where they?
The Barbecue Pit Boys.
Can you smell that? No. Smells good.
Smells good.
I'll take
See
your
what
word
it
for
tastes like. Tastes good. That's what
Once
I call Pitmaster privilege.
Take your word for it.
Yum.
This makes you want to go get barbecue, though. It's just like, oh man,
I'm just watching this on YouTube and getting hungry.
it's 1 a.m. Where can I go get some ribs or some
Dang
barbecue?
it. What are you doing? Firing up the grill. What does it look like? Smell that?
The only barbecues at 1:30 in the morning.
I'm waking up the whole neighborhood.
Like everyone's hungry right at the same time. Just wafting it into your neighbor's house. Smell that?
Because their windows are open because it's so hot.
It's so hot. They can't. I want to close the window.
Who's cooking?
But now it's too delicious. Impromptu party. The only time to have a party at night around here. Goodness.
And then you play some of that Juicy's background loop on a loop
That's the music you play and just have people wandering
every
off the
30
street.
seconds.
I heard there was the Juicies around here. Remember the Juicies?
You're damn right.
That'll be $12 and $12.
What would be the juiciest Pokemon?
Like that had juice inside it, or was the most succulent kind of thing?
Succulent?
Or tender, I guess. I feel like a Snorlax would have a lot of meat, but maybe be all fat.
Be very fatty, I would think.
But it'd be very relaxed, whatever meat it did have. Very relaxed. They don't want it to be all tough.
Well, in the newer one, they do have a mill tank, which is basically a cow.
Yeah,
So there's where you get your steaks. I go with that. That's mine. Gotta have my
trying to
steak.
find the closest analog to what we got here, and then
This is the closest analog I got.
since you're not that big on crab,
It's like, here you go, lobster Pokemon. Dang it!
well, because the milk tank is weird because it like stands up on two legs. It thinks
Yeah.
it's people.
But it's actually delicious.
Delicious, delicious people. It's people. So what's for dinner? And with that dark talk about eating Pokemon, with a subtle segue into Pokemon Go.
Let's go! So it's been out for a while. There's more stories now.
Oh my goodness.
So many more news stories
All the stories.
of things happening.
And things breaking.
So where should we start with that?
So, Pokemon is not available. Pokemon Go not available everywhere yet, but I think they just released in Japan. So, they're slowly taking over the world. One country-ish by the time. Soon the whole world will be under the control. But some people are complaining because the company's focused on trying to, release it in everywhere. But their servers are crying probably.
But they're getting so much visibility and money from it.
Oh,
The company value surpassed Sony.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Because it's all over, and it's not even all over the world, but it's crazy because, it's shooting up.
People are clamoring for it. They're like, give me more.
And they want more, but they can't keep up with the demand. And they still need to open it in different servers or different countries and stuff still. So not everyone has access to it. Poor bastards. Actually, no, they may be better off because then they're not wandering the streets at night looking for Pokestops.
Or driving and trying to catch Pokemon. Did you see that video that was online where I guess there were a group of officers on a corner and they were wearing body cams, and you see this RAV4 come by and totally like sideswipe one of the cop cars that's on the side, and then the cops go over to the guy gets out of the car and it's like, man, I shouldn't have been playing this stupid game. It's like, I was trying to catch Pokemon and I hit your car. And the cops are like, okay, are you okay?
Obviously, mentally.
Yeah, I'm fine, but I should. Man, stupid game. Dang. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, I
He
did
was
not
playing-
see that.
He was going full speed too,
Wow, that's...
and just like bam, hit the car, and then he stopped. Cops started running, and then thought they saw he stopped, and like, okay, then they kind of casually strolled over. Yeah. That happened.
Crazy times out there. Be safe, is what we're saying. Or, have a passenger to... You drive, they hunt.
And they're like, you're going too fast, slow down.
I can't get this Pokestop.
Slow down.
Which just leads to funny times where you're like slowly driving up the street. Like in any other time, it's like, drive by. Nope. Now it's like,
I'm just trying to get this Pokestop.
it's not
It's
syncing
not
up.
loading. Load faster.
There's 5 Pokestops on the street, so I gotta go real slow so we can get them all. I've done that before.
Did you climb up in a tree in a cemetery and get stuck and have to call 911 to get out?
That seemed like it could easily be non-Pokemon related, but I feel as though since we are on the subject...
It is Pokemon related.
Right, okay.
What I don't get is, why would you need to climb a tree?
That was the confusing part to me as well. So I was like, wait, what? but someone thought, well, A for effort, really getting into it. Like maybe it was some kind of, maybe it was a bird Pokemon. It's like, I don't see any birds in the ground. It's got to be up in the tree. Well, I guess the logic's sound. Sort of.
I guess.
But yeah, it's pretty crazy out there because now, so Carrie and I have been playing for a while now, and trying to go different, well, not too many different places, but like we were like, oh, let's go catch water Pokemon, and water Pokemon is supposed to be closer to bodies of water, lakes, ponds, oceans. So we went to the pier. And we were hungry and we wanted to eat something, so it felt like a 2 for 1. Go to the pier, get some food, catch some Pokemon. There was like a good amount of Pokemon stops at the pier, and basically everyone I saw there was playing the game. And it wasn't like there was a few people; there was a lot of people. It wasn't like as crazy as I think it's the Santa Monica pier, because this was the Redondo Beach pier, but they were spread out, but they were just anywhere you saw people, they were all looking down at their phones.
That's where the Pokemon spawned.
Yeah, but
there's a Charizard over here. Let's go.
Well, because they also had like this boardwalk area, and you look at your map, and it has Pokestops along the thing, so you could walk up one side, and then by the time you get to the other side, you could walk back and then get the Pokestops, and they were all lit up with lures, which attract more Pokemon to them. So they were all it was all going nuts. It was a Pokemon free-for-all kind of thing. But I mean, and this was on I want to say either Wednesday or Thursday, so I assumed on before Pokemon it was never this kind of busy.
The people are getting out and they're exploring the world around them. Yay.
More or less. They were out, they're looking at their phones, but they're probably ending up in new and surprising places going, oh, I didn't know this was here. I think I said that a few times when I was actually walking around the pier, because it's like parts of the pier I'd never been to. Like, oh, this is cool. How about that? Oh, there's Dratini over there. Okay, gotta go. And I was on top of a parking structure at that point. Then overlooked the boardwalk and like, huh, I didn't know this was here.
There's actually a website called Pokevision.com. What is Pokevision, you ask?
I was
glad you asked that.
Thank you. Read my mind.
Pokevision, it's a Pokemon tracker / locator for the Pokemon Go game. And it uses the Niantic API to grab the location of all the Pokemon near you or your selected location. And then it displays them on the map in real time. And it shows how long they're there for, like the spawn time. Like, this is how many minutes you have left before they despawn and disappear. And then rare Pokemons have a shorter appearance time, so they might despawn quicker.
Yeah.
But it's cool, because I was looking at it, and it's like, you were saying, in Santa Monica, there's tons of Pokemon out there. Around here, Pidgeys and Rattatas.
That and, like, rural areas apparently just get the shaft. It's pretty dismal. Like, you should have tried the map like in the middle of like Nebraska or something. In the middle of nowhere, and like then it just would have been, or what, would be weird if like you did that and all of a sudden Mewtwo in the middle of nowhere that no one would ever be able to get to
except the one guy who lives there.
One guy, like, man, I don't get anything. Mewtwo.
And then he puts it in his gym in the middle of nowhere.
I rule this gym.
Beat my Mewtwo.
What? I can't even find your gym. Okay, you go up this road, and then the road ends, so you just keep going down.
I gave him so many raspberries. And the Pokeballs kept curving.
That's the thing. Mewtwo would probably be super hard, and here you are trying to catch a Vulpix, and using like 40 balls for just trying to catch the one.
Okay, that was earlier today. Not my fault.
I feel like Mewtwo would just swat your balls away. Like, he would just curve and just be like, "What? Stop! Just stop."
It's like, okay, this is gonna curve. So you throw it in anticipation of the curve, and it goes straight. And so you throw it straight the next one, and then it curves. And it's like, okay, it's not going to curve again. You throw it straight, and it curves again. On its own. And you're like, okay, I'm going to aim and anticipate the curve again, and then it curves the opposite way and goes even further off screen the other way.
Yeah, Ben's just recently been experiencing how the game likes to troll you as you get higher in level.
I had 100-something Pokeballs. Now I'm down to 49.
The going thought, because the
3
company
Pokemon
never
later.
really doesn't say anything. Like, that's one of the criticisms. It's like, they don't have a PR department or anything like that, or even somebody say, hey, what's going on? No community relations. So a lot of the stuff that people are learning are just people experimenting themselves. Like, I think this does this. And one of the persistent ones is, as you level up, they will start to curve the balls. Because when you're in the battle, you just basically flick the Pokeball at them, and they're in the middle usually. So if you're not playing with the AR off, they're in the middle of the screen. It's not that hard to just flick straight up. But for some reason, as you get higher in level, you'll start to see you'll do the same flick you've done since level 1, but all of a sudden now
The ball's sparkly and curvy.
and you at first you're like, okay, I must have moved my phone some way weird, or my finger must have slipped off. 20 balls in, you're like, okay, this is ridiculous. I wasn't this bad before. So people speculate that as a way to slow people down, like, they're leveling way too fast. There's only 40 levels, I think, for trainer levels anyway. So that they do that, and to get you to buy more Pokeballs. Because you can get the Pokeballs for free from the Pokestops, or you can spend real money and just get your Pokeballs now. Some people are like, well, it's a free to play, but it's got microtransactions, and they'd like you to buy the stuff. So how about some more balls, since you seem to be having trouble hitting them? It seems to make sense, but
I hope that doesn't happen with a Master Ball.
It happens with Great Balls. And I've only used 2 Ultra Balls, and I just missed them. That was my fault, but we were talking about that too, because no one has a Master Ball yet. But it's in the code, I think, or there's an image for it, right?
I think so.
Like, that's they data mined for it, and they're like, oh, there's code in here or an image file for the Master Ball, but no one's actually gotten one. Because you unlock better, like, the Great Balls and the Ultra Balls as you level up. I think Ultra you get at 20, and maybe Great Balls you get 15, possibly. So you have to level up in order to unlock them. So maybe you get to 40, you get 1 Master Ball. If you can, because apparently once you get to 20, the XP grind after that is supposed to be just ridiculous. Like, it just turns it up to 11, and like, oh, you better find yourself a lot of Pidgeys, because you're gonna be at it for a while. But I mean, the game's only, 2 weeks old? 3 weeks?
Yeah,
Not long. And it's a phenomenon. Like, it's on the news and everything.
Phenomenon.
Yes, exactly.
Phenomenon.
It hasn't even released in everywhere they're going to release it, and
Because the servers can't handle it.
pretty much along that vein too is one of the interesting aspects of the game is being able to hunt down the Pokemon. So there's like a little thing in the bottom of the corner that says nearby Pokemon, so you can see what's in your general vicinity.
And
footprints, like 3 max, and as you get closer, 2, 1, so you kind of dial into the one you want, and you walk around waiting for the things to go lower and lower.
Charmeleon?
Right. So it's a pretty big aspect of the game. It's kind of like what makes it interesting is you can go out there and literally triangulate onto the Pokemon you want and then catch them. Problem is, for the past week, I guess, or week and a half or something, that feature's been broken. Now, when you look at it, everything has the 3 paw prints, no matter where it is. Like, if you get closer to it, it doesn't change. So you never know if you're actually getting closer to it or what, because it's not working. It's broken. But some people are speculating that actually they just turned it off. They left the thing in the game, but they turned off the feature from the server side. Some people are speculating that in order to keep the server stable, because it was a big draw on the servers, to keep kicking back, your players here's where the Pokemon are, it's got to keep sending the data back and forth. Oh, you're getting closer to this one, but further from this one, kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So they're saying they turned it off in order to stabilize the servers. Because the servers, I guess, have been more stable. They haven't been down for a whole half a days or anything like that, I think. So they're saying that that's what they did to fix it, but the problem is the company hasn't said anything about it. They've been completely like, whatever. Doesn't matter. Or not even it doesn't matter. They're just like, they just say nothing.
Yeah.
And that's what's pissing people off. They're like, just say, we're looking at it. Or, we hear ya, we just don't care. Or something. Or we're busy counting our money. Or something like that. But they've kept their mouth shut, and then it was funny because they released a patch maybe 2 days ago. And it's like, yes, a patch. Finally, they're going to fix something. And then you look at the patch notes. Minor text fixes. Only thing in the update. Doesn't even say what it was fixing. Just, we fixed some text somewhere. So, it's almost like they trolled the people. Like, oh, you wanted to fix for that one? Oh, no. So, it's still fun to play the game and just kind of wander around from Pokestop to Pokestop.
But there's actually areas where you do get a lot of major spawns of Pokemon. Like, I pulled up a map really quick in the South Bay area. And you can see over by Columbia Park, you got tons of Pokemon that spawn. And by the Redondo Beach Pier, tons of Pokemon spawning there too. There's even an Aerodactyl.
Yeah, the Redondo Beach Pier, because that, I think it's based on the amount of people. Because like I said, when I went there were a lot of people there. The Columbia Park one, I think it's right off a main street, like to get to where that point is, because that's where we spent our first day, or night.
And Santa Monica Pier, tons of Pokemon there too. There's even a Squirtle there right now.
You can get there, 3 minutes left, go. Oh, by the time you hear this, it might be too late.
This Pokevish thing is cool. I should save it as a bookmark.
Now, because, this is a refined version. I remember reading about this a couple of days ago on Reddit about something like this. Basically, it uses your data, and then it kind of like pings the server and tells you what's kind of in your area. It's not as sophisticated as this is now, because you had to kind of know a bit about programming, like Python and stuff, in order to even use the thing. Like, it wasn't user friendly like this Pokevision is. So I feel like they've refined it to what this is now, which is cool. But then some people are like, well, it kind of takes some of the fun out of really finding them, I guess. Like, because if you just know where everything is, then you just kind of go there, is what they're saying. I'm not agreeing with them or anything, but they're like, part of the fun is, looking down like, oh, there's a Charmander near me. I want to go find it myself. Whereas you just kind of put in this map where you are, and then you can kind of just walk over to where it is, like, oh, found it, kind of thing. It kind of negates the feature that they broke or turned off. But I guess it's only fair play.
If you're a completionist, then it helps out a lot. Like, I just got to get this one. Where's this one at?
Right, but then if somebody, like, before this came out, like, collected them all, and then someone's like, oh, I got them all too. It's like, oh, yeah, I just walked to where they were. And the other guy is like, well, I actually went to different places and,
like a fool.
Some would say this is just like the cheat. It's like, basically, this is the cheater map screen to the whole thing. Like, it's like, well,
cheater.
Now you just know everything is, so it kind of defeats the purpose of exploring from. It's like, I'm just going to go here and get it. I'm just going to go here and get it. The completionist part is, is good. I'm for it because, especially if you live in an area like you do, where there ain't much Pokemon really activity. And looking at this map, you can really see that stand out because, like, we're looking at it, and yeah, there's areas where they're really concentrated, and there's a lot of areas where there ain't nothing in between. Like, concentrated, nothing. So, even if you wanted to explore and try to find them yourself, there's a big set of areas where nothing's going to appear. But you're like, and it's discouraging because looking at this map, now you can kind of see. Well, then again, I don't know how well this does either because we haven't really tried it. We've seen it now, but we haven't tested it ourselves. So maybe we'll have to do that, come back and test it and try to catch them all.
But then you're like, I got enough Sandshrews already.
Yeah, there's a lot of Sandshrews around where I live. Lots of them. So, and that's the thing about this game that's kind of cool, but kind of a bummer is certain ones concentrate in certain places. So, like, your area might have a lot of Drowsies or a lot of Sandshrews.
Like at Disneyland.
It's pretty busy
You
there.
don't need to go anywhere. You just stay in the park.
Oh, the same thing happened when... Check out Universal Studios. That's because Universal, Carrie and I went to Universal after the game had released, so we were playing it while we were visiting Universal Studios, and they had a good amount of Pokestops too, and actually a lot of people using lures and stuff.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
it's very clustered all around the park,
and even Universal, you don't even have to go in the park. Universal City Walk has enough Pokestops where you just walk up the street, walk down the street. It's got like 2 gyms, I think. So you could just go to City Walk and, have a good time and have something to eat.
And be distracted on your phone as you're eating.
Not
talking to anyone, just like...
Oh, no. Pokemon,
well, no. Pokemon.
But you're talking to other Pokemon people. If they're not in it.
If you're by a Pokestop, you're like, refresh, spin!
Or if you're buying that one where there's like 3 of them next to each other and you can hit all of them without moving.
We're eating here. The Yelp thing?
Yes, were you telling me about that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The Yelp feature for Pokemon.
So now there's a Pokemon feature. You want to start talking about it?
No, you can go ahead.
So Yelp, you can filter by everything. By type of food, by price, by smoking, maybe not smoking, but basically by a lot of stuff. By a lot of metrics, they break it down. And a new added one is Pokestop.
As of last week. So basically, if where you eat has to be near a Pokestop so you can eat and collect items, Yelp's got your back. And when you check in a certain place on Yelp, they'll ask you like, oh, does this place accept credit cards? Is it good for families? All that stuff. One of the questions you'll get now is there a Pokestop nearby? Yes, no, I don't know.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
And it'll, interestingly enough, may sway people to eat at a certain place.
And people, I think some places actually use that as advertising. Like, come on in, we got 3 Pokestops without having you go wander around and try to find things.
And the thing about the
lures.
Pokestops is they were built in from their old game and kind of poured it over to the new game. But recently, they've opened it up again so people can submit new places for Pokestops. So maybe if you're a business, you're probably trying to look for something. Like, you can't just say, my business is a Pokestop. Like, maybe they'll have to, like, look for something like, here's a statue. This statue is a Pokestop. It just happens to be inside my restaurant. But it's the statue, not the restaurant, that's the Pokestop. Kind of thing. Although it would be interesting if they started doing actual sponsored Pokestops, which I think is happening in Japan. I believe the company partnered up with McDonald's for the Japanese release.
Huh.
And they haven't. I haven't read anything about it, but it sounds like they're probably maybe going to turn every McDonald's into a Pokestop, or at least most of them. It would be the most like obvious thing to do. Like, oh, you pay us, we'll turn your McDonald's into a Pokestop. People will flock to you for a Pokestop. I'm like, well, I'm here. Might as well get something to eat.
That goes against of the original intention of Pokemon Go. It's like you're supposed to get out there, be active, and lose weight. Sit at McDonald's, pig out, gain weight.
Yep. That's what happens with our corporate overlords. Eventually, whatever you had, it's like, oh, that's good for you. Now it's bad for you. No. Or what if like they had, like, we're going to spawn rarer Pokemon in the McDonald's,
and nobody would ever leave. They're like, okay, get out.
Nope. It's got the backwards effect.
Just waiting on that Zapdos.
I know it's coming. I'd like another water, please.
There's a Vaporeon nearby.
I believe it will be mine. I've got all day.
Oh, look, a Mew.
That would be... Because, I don't think they've outlined the deal. There's just that there is a deal. And that's in Japan. So I wonder if...
They're going to have Happy Meal toys over here.
If more businesses are going to use... Yeah. I mean, it's taken over the world. And like you said, like Nintendo's stock is just...
We struck a long-term deal. 151 different Pokemon toys.
Holy crap.
Plus another 150. Plus another 150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that would... I
gotta catch them all.
Then you're hitting McDonald's all over the state.
I caught this one here. I caught this one here. You're like Snapchatting your
travels. Oh my god, they could totally do that, actually.
I started off at 115 pounds. And now 320.
It's totally worth it. I'm almost done with my collection. Heavy breathing.
I just drove everywhere.
I ate every one of those Happy Meals. Every one.
Well, it's worth it just to buy the Happy Meal. It's like, what, $1 more than just buying the toy straight out?
Maybe to you, but your body will not forgive you. After your 100th Pokemon that you've caught.
Tonight.
In one night. 2016 was a rough year. I can't even touch the McDonald's, anything. I can't even look at McDonald's anymore. When we're in the vicinity,
and
I get violently
withdrawals.
ill.
I gotta have McDonald's. I need their fries. Their nuggets. Their cheeseburgers.
But yeah, it's interesting that, it sounds like they already worked out the deal before. They were already working on the deal before it even came out, because it kind of, I think, came out simultaneously. Like, Pokemon Go in Japan. Oh, by the way, we're working with McDonald's. Go buy a burger.
What's funny is, like, it's actually working to get people out there and being more active. So you're definitely seeing a lot more people walking around on their phones, not paying attention where they're going, wandering into traffic and all that stuff, getting hit by cars in some cases, yada, yada, yada.
And it seems weird to me, too. I mean...
But I'm seeing the same amount of people driving around. Like, people are carpooling. Somebody has, like, a map application open. Go this way, go that way. Someone probably has a Pokevision thing open.
Now.
Okay, turn here.
I know, I will. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
It's a safe way to Poke Drive. With companions and an idea where you're going to go.
I usually just go to hit the Pokestops. Pull in the parking lot at the park. Spin the thing, drive off. Come back 5 minutes later. Spin the thing again.
Well, on our street, we do have, like I said, we have like 7 or 8 Pokestops just across like 3 blocks in a straight line. So you could walk up the street and then back down the street, which we did like the first few times, and now we drive. Because there's ones a little bit further than in an area. There's one just a couple blocks up, but in a more shadier one. I wouldn't want to walk through, but I don't mind driving through and then moving on. Like,
you're like, that guy looks kind of suspicious. I don't feel safe. I get this weird vibe from him. And as you're walking by, Pokemon Go! Yeah!
Or
That's
stabby.
the weird vibe I got.
Well, because it's like from our house, it's like you go up 3 blocks. It's like, oh, this is fine. It's not bad. And then you cross there's a kind of a major street, and then on the other side of that, it gets shadier. But there's a Pokestop over there.
Shiesty.
And it's like, okay, got it. Let's turn around, kind of thing. It's gotten to the point there. It's like, if we go out and we're coming back home and we're driving back up, it's like, oh, do you need to get some more Pokeballs? Because as Ben can tell you now, you're going to start running out of those.
I hit that magical level 10 where like half your balls start curving for no reason.
And before he's like, I got tons of these. I'm going to keep all my items because his bag was overflowing. He couldn't get new stuff. I'm like, you're going to want to dump all that stuff that's not a Pokeball because you're going to need every single one of them because you're going to be throwing them all over the place. And then I watched him throw all of them away, like half of them away on one thing. I'm like, yep. That's why he was like... So, like, sometimes I'll just ask Harry, like, oh, did you need to get some more Pokeballs? It's like, yeah. So we'll drive up the street. And we have a path now. It's like, you drive up the street, you get to that last Pokestop, make a left, and there's one around the corner. Then you're driving back, make another left, and you're driving back the way we came. And those ones, you drive it down another street, back towards us, and there's more Pokestops there. Then you turn back onto our street. All the ones on our street are refreshed, so you drive back up the street. And you just do that over and over again.
Repeat until you run out of gas.
Or run out of space. Like, do we got enough? Okay. Time to go home.
I just feel like
That's where we're at now, so it's changed how we live our day.
I feel like Ash on the first day of his Pokemon.
But yeah, we used to walk more. And I guess if we go to like the pier, we'd have to get out and walk because you just driving down the pier. Like, excuse me, I don't want to get out of my car. I don't trust any of you people. You're just driving down over people. Like, excuse me, get out of the way. So I guess for those major places, you actually have to park and get out of your car and walk. So not completely unavoidable, but if you want that Squirtle, he's out at the end of the pier. So you're gonna have to walk it. You're gonna have
Pay
to
for
fit
parking.
over there. Pay for parking. It works for the piers because they're like, yes, we've got Pokemon here. You should park here.
You hear that? Troll. Pokemon messages. I am a champion.
It's the same thing.
Sure.
It's the same thing. That'd be weird if they came out with a Digimon Go.
I will battle you with my blue eyes white dragon.
I played this game. I watched the cartoon, and I think this was after. I think this is when I should have been outside of it when I played it. I was probably too old to be playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But then again, when I do see people playing Yu-Gi-Oh!, it still seems like people that would probably be outside of the...
Yu-Gi-Oh? No, it's a Pokemon battle. A Pokemon duel.
Duel.
Duel!
Yugi's got a little bit of a problem there. A stuttering problem.
Digimon. Digimon. Pokemon. Yu-Gi-Oh! Super Troll.
Multi-troll.
But as you were saying, you were on the road to Viridian City. On the road. Hitting the Pokestops.
Yeah. Hitting them Pokestops. it's good to get some fresh air while being in the car with the windows rolled up because it's too hot and putting on the air conditioning.
Set that on recirculate. We need maximum cold. This AC needs to put out maximum effort for this.
Maximum effort. It's the only way to Pokemon in the comfort of your own car. Probably not what they thought it was going to be.
They keep refreshing this Pokevision website.
Oh, so we're going to maybe cut this short all of a sudden? We gotta go.
No, if there's a rare Pokemon, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go and go catch and come back. Like, I got it! I got a Charizard!
Ben has left the podcast, but only temporarily to drive to, I believe, Santa Monica.
No, it's just what's around here. What I can get to in like 5 minutes.
Just burst out of here, just hear the door open and just gone.
I got a Charizard, an Ivysaur, and a Blastoise. Yeah! Or a Venusaur. Yeah.
Because it kind of leads me into like what I'm wondering. Like right now, it's really huge. Like everybody's playing, and
it's huge. It's tremendous.
It's very, very large. It's big.
It's the biggest, most tremendous thing that you'll ever see out there.
Ever.
Huge.
Ever.
Huge.
Huge.
Can't see me gesticulating.
Yes. I can, and it's weird.
It's just like Donald Trump's really here.
I wonder, though, what kind of like the burn rate is going to be on this. Like, it's big, really big now. But I wonder how long it lasts. I mean...
I think it'll last as long as they tie it into the games that they're releasing. Like the Pokemon battling game for the
Pokemon tournament?
Wii U/NX, right?
No, Pokemon's on... Well, it's already on Wii U.
Okay.
Yeah, I have it. I played it at least once.
That was coming out later. Okay, so Pokemon Sun and Moon.
Correct.
Yeah.
Although, it's weird because Pokemon Go is basically based on the first and second generations of the game, like the old ones that were out when we were young. So, Sun and Moon is like, I don't know, 8th or 9th. I don't even know what generation technically it is.
It's like it's Power Rangers.
Pretty far removed from the Pokemon that are in the game. Like, in the game, there's a manageable 150 to collect. You can't collect them all. None of them are available. That legendary birds you can't catch, and Mew and Mewtwo and Ditto, I believe.
Yeah.
Are not. They're just not in it. You can't.
And Missing No.
It's missing. Yes.
No, but it's
they're not
so many
so they're going to be
iterations of Pokemon, just like Power Rangers. Very. At some point, you're like, "Where are we at now?" And then you jump back in. Like, look, they're rebooting it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, like now, because I always play every one that comes out. I always play the newest one, but I stopped trying to catch them all a long time ago because there are too many alls to catch. Because now I don't even know how many Pokemon they have, but there's too many to actually catch. Like 700 or something like that. It's ridiculous.
Go, Pokemon Ranger!
Getting all nostalgic on everything. From
Everything. Speaking of Power Rangers, did you see that poster? Power Rangers poster? The new one? The reboot? It's weird.
Yeah. Remember the first reboot talks were around, it seemed like, okay. It's something that doesn't need to exist, but I'm willing to give it a shot. And then it seems like every announcement is kind of like a kind of thing. Like, oh, okay. Well, it could still be something interesting kind of thing. And they released an image for the new Pokemon
heat's getting to you.
Yeah, pretty much. The new Power Rangers in their costumes. Yeah.
It's kind of familiar if you just look at the helmets, but everything else is just weird.
Because I think this is supposed to be based on the first Power Rangers. Well, the first Power Rangers series, because there's been ongoing series, and obviously the suits change every iteration. They changed, but I think this is supposed to be based, or at least kind of connected to the original one. I've heard some people say that it's supposed to be like a prequel to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So, like, the costumes are different because they're not Mighty Morphin yet. They're the generation before them that leads into. So, in that case, maybe because like I said, the costumes always change. So, if it's supposed to be like a prequel one,
yeah.
But then again, I think not. I think it's actually supposed to be them. But I can't tell anymore.
Yeah.
Because if it's not the Mighty Morphin ones, then they can make the suits look... Because they always look different anyway. But if it's supposed to be Mighty Morphin, then it's just like... I guess you wanted to make it stand out as something new, maybe? Like we want ours to be different. Bold. I guess. Although technically, if you're making this movie, you are definitely trying to tap into the nostalgic feels. So the more that you have that connects to that is better than like your own vision of it. I think. Like, you're not rebooting it, or are you? I guess you are. But yeah, what do you think of those things? Them.
I'm kind of waiting for a trailer to come out.
Yeah.
The pictures, yeah,
don't instill a lot of faith in you.
No.
But you're holding judgment.
Yeah.
I'm
giving them a chance.
Who knows what this is about? This could be somewhere else in the movie.
They'll have arc reactors in their chest.
Because they have been updated by Tony Stark, apparently. Because Tony Stark lives in Angel Grove, I guess. He's got a summer house there, maybe. Yeah. I also wonder, like, I was like I can't remember if I saw the movie, because there's one thing about the series is it didn't take itself too overly seriously. Like, it's pretty light because it was a TV show for kids essentially, but I think that was kind of its charm too. Like, if it took itself super seriously, maybe it wouldn't have been as good. Kind of like,
Did you watch the original Power Rangers movie when it came in theaters?
That's what I was trying to think of. Like, was that the Turbo one? Power Rangers?
No, it was the... I think it was when they
like
were
Turbo,
transitioning
a Power
from
Rangers
original
movie?
to Ninja, I think.
I think it was... No, now I'm not sure. I think I was too old to see it in the theaters, so I think I must have saw it somewhere else.
You weren't too old, because I saw it in the theaters.
I'm too cool for that.
Liar. Yeah, that's Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, 1955. Fantasy thriller, 1 hour, 39 minutes. 5 out of 10 IMDb, 50% on Rotten Tomatoes.
So you can go back and watch that, and now...
And that's the one with Ivan Ooze.
You mean Apocalypse?
Him too.
So, I guess you do have something to compare it to. Like, there's the original movie.
So, yeah, that was the one where they were the original ones from the TV show. Then spoilers, they lost their Zords and kind of power and everything. Zordon sent him on a quest to go find a new source of power, and that's when they became Ninja.
Ninja Rangers.
And then remember they had the ninja hoods and everything, but they had like Pink Ranger was all pink, Yellow Ranger was all yellow. Of course.
You need to know which one you're looking at.
So that was a 2-stage morph. the first one was street clothes into the ninja clothes. Somehow that gives them more power. And then they morph again from the ninja clothes into the actual new Power Ranger suits. Quotes around new. But they get the cool droids.
Yay!
Or not droids.
Cool
Zords.
merchandise to buy.
Zords. Can't say droids.
Now, do you know if this new one's supposed to be a reboot or some kind of in continuity? Oh wait, no. See, actually, I'm looking at the one you have here. It says Kimberly, Billy, Jason, Jack, Trini. So these are the original Rangers.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
then
supposed to be just that.
Rita Repulsa and
So
Zordon.
I guess it's a reboot then. They're rebooting the franchise?
Well, here's an official synopsis. Saban's Power Rangers follow 5 ordinary high school kids who must become something extraordinary. Extraordinary.
Extraordinary?
Extraordinary. / extraordinary.
Okay, there you go.
When they
Basic
learn
of
that their small town of Angel Grove
And the world.
and the world is on the verge of being obliterated by an alien threat.
Oh no.
Rita Repulsa and the putties. And they run around.
Chosen by destiny, our heroes quickly discover that they are the only ones who can save the planet.
The planet.
Captain Planet. Wait,
The
no.
world.
But to do so, they will have to overcome the real-life issues. Band together as Power Rangers before it's too late. Sounds like a reboot to me then. It's basically the original series with new costumes, which... Okay. Might as well. I mean, technically, I think all the Power Rangers that came after the other series are all in continuity, actually.
By your powers combined, I
So-
am Captain Planet.
To save the world.
I think we're getting distracted. That's my fault. Yeah.
Soon this is going to become a live action movie. Eh? Yeah.
They actually did one of those for College Humor or something, where they had Don Cheadle playing Captain Planet. Did you see that video?
No, I heard about it though.
Yeah, and then he turns on them. And it's like, he basically figures out, wait, I'm all powerful. I can do whatever I want. And then he never kind of goes back, and then he just kind of becomes like a dictator or something. And it's like in 3 parts, too. So they kind of made that movie, and it's pretty funny.
Power is yours.
I guess they could do a serious version.
Yours. Yeah.
All this is coming out because Comic-Con is coming out.
Comic-Con.
Is happening, actually, as we speak.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
Comic-Conning, as they say.
And there's Pokemon all over the place at Comic-Con. Actually, I should pull that up on the map.
Actually,
What does it look like in San Diego right now?
well, because Pokemon Go has their own panel at Comic-Con.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah, they're doing a panel there. So I'm guessing they got something to announce. Maybe Mewtwo's in San Diego.
Oh, wow. Here you go. There's a Comic-Con Pokemon. Don't you wish you were there?
Well, for each one of those Pokemon on the map, there's probably about 1,000 people next to it.
So-
You've been to Comic-Con.
I have.
Were there a lot of people in San Diego during Comic-Con?
It is so crowded in San Diego. So crowded.
And now they're all looking at their phones,
Yeah.
bumping into each other.
Out of my way! I gotta get in range of that Pokemon.
Is there anything rare there, though? A lot of Ekans, which, yay.
Poliwag.
Eh,
it's not really that rare.
That's a Charmander.
There's a Zubat. Yeah, there's a Charmander there. That's rare, kind of. Pidgeys. There's another Charmander.
I guess how far would you go?
I'm pretty sure like there's way more opportunities for rare Pokemon to spawn.
You'd actually have to keep refreshing it. So
Yeah.
you'd sit in your car and refresh it. The map.
Like, I gotta run to the other side of the convention center just to get this. Out of my way.
Actually, it'd be like one person would see it and start running in that direction, and other people would start looking at theirs. Like, wait, what is he running for? I should run too. And then
A Zapdos
Stampede!
just spawned.
Oh my god! And then everyone's running to the other side of the convention.
Oh my god.
I heard something like that happened in Central Park, and something spawned there, and all it takes is one person like, oh my god, there's Charizard. What? And then everybody moves in that direction. So basically, you could take us over if you had control of Pokemon Go. You could make the population go wherever you wanted. Which makes me wonder, for that Mewtwo or whatever, even the legendary birds for those events, because they're probably going to be event Pokemon, where they get people to come out and do to a specific spot. I wonder what would happen if you had that spot, like I said, in the middle of, like, nowhere. I wonder how far people would go out of their way.
If it's rare enough, they'll go out of their way.
Yeah, right? Like if a Mewtwo spawned.
Well, it's like when Krispy Kreme first opened, people made Krispy Kreme runs, even though it was all the way out in the middle of nowhere. They're like, oh, like now we can afford to move into the city. That's how it works. That's how it works. Yeah, these Pokemon keep popping up everywhere. But, yeah, speaking of Comic-Con.
Kumicon?
Comic-Con.
Well,
You plan on going? Next year, maybe? If you get a ticket.
I haven't even really tried to get tickets, because I always hear how much of a pain it is. But I would like to go once. You've been once, although your experience was interesting.
Excellent choice of words.
Yes. Would you go again? I mean, obviously you couldn't possibly have the same experience twice.
No.
So
many things change, and I don't know if it's worth it to sit on the panels, really. Maybe the Star Wars ones. Like, I waited all day for this one panel, and I got a free lightsaber and fireworks show.
that was the one time it was probably really worth it. Well, because some panels still keep their things panel exclusive, or at least try. Like, here's the teaser, but it's not going out on the internet kind of thing.
Yeah. When it start? Wednesday? That was preview day, right?
I thought it was Thursday. I thought Thursday was preview day. And
I
then,
thought, oh, well, no, Wednesday is like pre-preview day, and then it's preview day, and then
might as well.
official Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's like last day. So, Guardians of the Galaxy
Yay.
2. Volume
That
2.
movie's not going to be very good. Who's ever heard of Guardians of the Galaxy? Boo.
Not you.
It's probably going to suck. Bring out someone better. Eh?
Oh, wow. And they created a Captain America statue. A bronze statue that's going to go ahead to make its cross-country tour to end up in Brooklyn's Prospect Park. So like how they have a Rocky statue somewhere out there on the East Coast.
Philadelphia.
That's it. It's hot. I can't think anymore.
Can't think words.
I'm at that point already.
Yeah. Already? I've
So-
just been started talking, and then hopefully my words make sense as they exit my
If
mouth.
Spider-Man's huge, they're going to have a Spider-Man bronze statue out in Queens. Makes sense, right?
Well, then again, Spider-Man's been around longer, like in the
But
movies.
not this cool.
Okay, I agree. This version of the Spider-Man, who's only been in technically not even 0.5 of a movie, 0.25 maybe of a movie, and is already probably my most favorite Spider-Man. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
Maybe he only works in that small amount. Oh, they have the Disney record stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We saw that at... It was weird, the Disney Music Emporium. We saw that, I think, at either Kamikaze or WonderCon. Which one of those? I think it was WonderCon. And we wondered, it's like, ooh, Disney. And we're like, what is it? And like, it's records.
Vinyl.
Thank you. But it's like designed, so some of them you just put on your wall as art, more or less. I think they still play the music, but it's more like they even sell the frames for them. Like, it's almost like, oh, no, this is not for playing. This is for putting up on your wall.
For display only.
Exactly. Although some of them, do interesting things when you actually
This one's a Captain
play
America shield. This is a Tron Identity disc.
I wonder how well those sell, because like I said, it kind of boggled my mind. Like, yeah, I guess, and it is actually Disney. It's not like some knockoff. Although the knockoff would probably be cheaper and probably look just as good, but
$25.
it's a bit expensive.
Then they have Lego, of course.
Of course,
Gotta be everywhere now.
yeah,
Everywhere.
all the places.
Star Wars, of course.
Of course, the Force.
Of course. The Force, of course.
Although, I guess technically, because Disney has their own thing.
D23, which is going to be next year.
Right. Because didn't they last year they didn't go as full into Comic-Con? Like, they didn't have like a panel or something? Or
Yeah.
because they're like, we got our own thing that we could just make all about our stuff. We're not fighting for space or anything.
I think it's like every other year, it seems. Like in the off season, when they don't have the D23 thing, then yeah, they're more prominent.
They'll
at
like, okay,
Comic-Con. But on those D23 years, every other year,
like, screw
odds, then they're like, you know what, we're going to save it so we get more people coming in, because people want to see, they want to hear about our Marvels and Star Warses and new
that
Han
will bring them
Solos
closer to us.
with their pockets full of money.
Money by the pound. Have you been to D23?
No. The first year, it was a pretty rough start. Second year, it improved, still kind of rough. Then the third year, that's when they hit their stride and became like super crowded and everything. And like, yeah.
Well, plus that first year they didn't have Marvel or Star Wars yet.
No, they
so
didn't. So it was kind of light on the offerings, and people were like, yeah.
But it was specifically Disney. Like,
Yeah.
they have the Marvel and Star Wars stuff, but those are technically licenses by Disney. They're not technically, well, now they're starting to become actual Disney. So, but people that like went to D23 in those first years were just hardcore Disney fans. They wanted Disney stuff
Right.
to look at. Like, they're not Marvel people. They're like, I came here because I love Disney. Now it's a lot of the other stuff, but they hold it for themselves and they don't take it to Comic-Con. Like, I gotta see it.
Oh wow, you can buy a Gizmo for about $6,000 to $9,000.
You gonna get one for Claudia?
A Gizmo stand-in puppet from the movie.
From the movie. Actual movie prop. Well, it's a stand.
See, who needs to go when you got the internets? You hear things faster.
It's kind of true. It's the same for E3. Like, I go to E3, but I feel like
Like, I
anyone
don't
who
know what
watched
happened.
it actually knows more than me. And I was there. I'm just like, oh, that was there? Huh. How about that?
Peanuts is there. Snoopy.
Weird.
So weird. Fanorama. Sideshow collectibles. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of cool things to see over at Comic-Con. It's just so massive and so spread out. It's it's almost like good luck seeing everything that you want to see. You have to make sacrifices and pick and choose pretty much. Like, okay, well, I'm going to miss this. I guess I can catch that online. This is more important and all that. And then the exhibit hall. It's quite a haul.
Don't you have to like wait to get in or something?
Yes.
Or get a ticket or something?
You have to, yeah. Especially when they first open, there's a line. Like, what's this line for? To get in the exhibit hall? Like, really?
It's itself a hall.
I thought this was for Hall H. No?
This is just to see stuff.
Like, ha! No, that's over there.
Where? Outside.
And it wraps around so many times. So, yeah, good luck with that. You get in line today to get into Hall H tomorrow.
I wonder if I'd be hardcore enough to do that.
First one to wait in line.
I don't think I would.
No.
No. Too old for that, I think.
And there's so much stuff to see rather than waiting in line, and it's especially if it's one of those huge Star Wars types events, then yeah, I could see waiting for that.
But you wouldn't know that until you were there.
You can kind of already anticipate that just based on what they've done in the past. Like some of the exclusive stuff, I'm like, oh. And then other things like when the Rogue One trailer first came out, or teaser, super teaser, how short that was and how little you saw, but everyone's like, oh my God. Here's the title.
Yeah, it's true.
I saw it and I'm like, really? People waited just for that?
They seemed happy.
That's old people talk. What am I talking about? I totally wait in line.
I like to tell myself that, like waiting like 2 o'clock the day before or the night before or midnight the evening before and just sitting outside the whole time. Could I do that? Would I? I don't know. I'd have to have a group of people that was like, we should do this, and I'd be like, okay, we should do this. I don't think I could pull it off on my own. We're like, I want to do this. I need other yes people around me. Like, yeah, we should do that. Yeah, that's a good idea. Can't do it on my own. Nope, can't be done. I'd be like, nope, I want to sleep in a bed. But then again, if I ever went to Comic-Con, it'd probably be 1 year. It'd be the time I went to Comic-Con.
And then after that, it'd be on your Murtaugh list. I'm too old for this shit.
I feel like a lot of things that I have on my bucket list are already on the Murtaugh list, and I just ignore it. Riggs!
Too old for this shit.
Someone else is looking at me saying that.
Exactly.
Isn't this on your Murtaugh list? I'm like, what? No, I'm going to jump off this thing. So yeah, we'll have plenty of stuff next week. All the Comic-Con fallout. All the leaked videos.
Well, there's already stuff out. It's just once the dust settles, then it's like, oh, here's the biggest things, and here's some of the smaller things.
Like some of the ones that were going to be small, wanted to probably get out ahead of time, like before the really big stuff, just buried it completely. So like, if you get it out there early, at least for a bit of the cycle, you'll be the bigger story. Until like you have your big Hall H stuff. Until Pokemon Go takes the stage. And he presses a button, and then a Mewtwo appears inside Hall H. And then he's just like, good luck. Everyone's battling to defeat the Mewtwo. And just kills all the Pokemon.
Yeah, but a few of the headlines. So I guess there's a American Gods trailer that was released. Blair Witch had a sequel, a secret screening.
Doesn't Blair Witch already have a sequel? Book of Shadows? Maybe they're rebooting it, which is weird because it's like a found footage movie.
Maybe.
Huh. Okay.
Comic-Con has become PokeCon.
Yeah, that seemed obvious. That was gonna happen.
Some Walking Dead news. Don't want to read that because I don't want it spoiled.
Spoilers.
Lots of cosplay. Comic-Con proves Luke Cage might be Marvel's most important show. Had a Big Bang Theory panel with news from Katie Seagal and Jack McBrayer.
Peggy Bundy?
Yep.
They're bringing back Married
Layla.
with Children. Yeah.
Preachers trailer. Bones exclusive. Video games.
Carrie's a big
Celebrities.
Bones, or used to be a big Bones fan. I think it's their last season, but they've got quite a few, so.
People wearing low-cut dresses.
Sounds like cosplay to me. Or something designed as cosplay.
Fox's new Rocky Horror.
Oh, yeah.
Fans
that's a
applauded
thing.
that. Mr. Robot cast teases season 2 surprises.
I keep hearing about that show.
Vikings. Bates Motel. MacGyver stars. For the reboot.
The reboot that you don't want.
Yeah. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman.
Her Universe fashion show. Much things.
Wow. That's only so far.
So far. And it's only Friday.
It's only Friday. The big dogs haven't even started yet.
Wow. Why are so many major studios sitting out Comic-Con this year? Which kicks off its 46th year today. Don't know.
Don't know.
I'm not going to read it.
Can't be bothered.
Can't be bothered. Not now, anyway. Fans are going crazy for the Star Wars toy that is selling out at Comic-Con. Clickbait article. 6 coolest things I saw at Comic-Con.
That someone else saw at Comic-Con?
Comic-Con launches with preview night and the Star Trek premiere. Which, speaking of Star Trek, I heard that, well, there's an article that came out saying that they're not going to recast Chekhov's character. They're going to try to find a way where he gets killed off, but they won't redo him in the fourth Star Trek movie. So basically Beyond is the last.
We'll see if Chekhov.
Yeah, well, that version. And then it's like, between Beyond and whatever, he died.
He did die. He did.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Which is interesting, but I guess it kind of keeps the continuity.
right.
having-
Instead of just bringing in a new guy, like that's Chekhov, and like he looks different. Like, what do you mean? He's always looked like that.
He sounds a little different
He
too.
sounds different. Anyone else noticing this? No.
It's almost like Back to the Future when they recast Marty McFly's girlfriend. Like, don't say anything. Just
roll with it.
Just go. It's like, what happened to her? She don't want to do it anymore. But she'll make the circuits in the conventions. Like, I was the original.
I didn't know it was gonna be big. Wait. The only reason they made the other ones was because they were big. They did. First one did well, so that's why they made the sequels and the back to back, like at the same time. Did they shoot 2 and 3 like at the same time? Because one was such a big success. Who was it? Elizabeth. Who became the new Jennifer? Was it Elizabeth Shue?
The new one?
Not the old Jennifer. Not classic Jennifer.
Very go. Yeah, Elizabeth Shue.
Hey. Who was the original one then?
Claudia Wells.
I got nothing for that.
Yeah. And they're on Netflix again.
Huh. All of them?
All three of them.
Interesting.
First one I went to was Back to the Future 2 because I hadn't watched that one enough. I've seen plenty of 1 and 3. Need more 2.
Favorite one?
I don't know. I didn't
One?
get to catch all of it because I had that on in the background kind of when I was doing other things too.
Because you could.
Kind of.
It's like, click. Okay.
I would get distracted and sit and watch and like, oh. But when you look at it, there's so many things in 2 that's set up for 3. It's like, oh, that was your great grandfather, Mad Dog Tannen.
It's almost like they knew they were going to have a third one. Oh, right.
They did. So they just kind of casually mention it. So when you go back and watch it again, like, hey! They show the Clint Eastwood scene in the thing. It's like, huh. I see.
So it's well, I guess the whole series is actually rewatchable, and you're seeing new stuff after seeing it. Like, you watch the first one all the way through, and then you watch it again, knowing what you know now. You see new stuff that you didn't notice before, because now you know everything that happens.
Yeah.
Same with 2 and 3. You watch it all the way through, you're like, oh, it's good, and you watch it again, you're like, wait, that was...
You watch it for
3.
those little clues that they just throw in there, but they don't say anything at all.
They don't acknowledge it, but if you find it, lucky you.
Unlike movies now where a good majority of them are like, we put this in here. Did you see this? This is why we put this in here. Here, let's explain it to you. This is what happened. This is why it's important. Did you get it now? You get it? Okay, good, because it's a subtle hint.
And then you got movies like Deadpool that threw in, like, everything, but, like, so much so that a bunch of it just goes right over your head because you're like, oh, wait, something. Okay, never mind. It's like so many things are happening. Like,
I'm just going to watch it again.
Yes, I'm just going to watch it. But there's so many, just, like, they threw in so many references to stuff that, and they just fly by. Like, that was a thing. You're like, oh, that is a thing. Of course, you'd have to have, like, an uber nerd to point most of it out for you, like the really deep cuts.
How deep is it? So deep.
So deep, I did not even understand it. The deepest of cuts. The first cut.
Is the deepest.
Yeah.
What?
That's what they say.
That's what I heard, at least.
That's what you heard? The bird?
You heard?
Oh, man,
The
I'm
word?
losing it, I think.
I think you are. Should probably wrap this up.
Oh. Before I lose all my own identity. It's become...
Before all your base are belong to us.
Oh, my goodness. So, next week.
There's Pidgeys out there.
There's Pidgeys to catch. We gotta go. There's Pidgeys to catch.
Pidgeys and
all the
Zubats.
Pidgeys. So many Pidgeys. They turn into candy. Oh.
Pidgeys and candies.
Pidgeys and candies. Candies and Pidgeys. Gotta catch them all. Candymon.
Yeah.
But then, next week we'll have a bunch of the Comic-Con stuff, so we'll probably look at the trailers. Maybe someone else will be able to help us with that as well. How professional.
Probably.
So, we'll review all that stuff, and there's some stuff that came out now, but we'll save it for a grand wrap-up of Comic-Con. All the cool, all the good, the bad, and the worst. I don't think the worst. The good, the bad, and the better. There we go. Keep it optimistic. Whew. Anything else to add?
Is there? Would this still apply?
To what?
The good, the bad, the better.
Oh. See, that's how far gone
Right
I
over
am.
your head.
I can't even get my own references. Who said that? Oh, it was me.
I think it was you.
Me quoting me, saying things that me said. Misa said. Oh, goodness.
Gracious, great balls of fire.
Oh, yeah. It's definitely gone. The heat's definitely getting to at least me. Ben seems to be okay. I don't know how.
Sucking your energy.
Oh, that's it.
That's how.
That's how he remains so steady. That's why we made him the engineer.
Steady as she goes.
That does bring us to the end of this podcast before complete insanity takes over. Just me, apparently. If you like, you could email us at kNights. I keep saying that at the beginning. Probably a better way. You can email us kNightspodcast@gmail.com.
There you go.
I guess that makes more sense. But
Oh, by the way,
by the way.
did we have any taco corrections? Taco corrections that you wanted to bring up? Any taco corrections that arose?
If there were, I can't remember them now because now I'm only thinking of one thing.
Any taco corrections that came to head?
Oh no. I think I have to write them down now because every time you say that later on, that's all I'm going to be able to think of. Just like, we had something for this. Then he said taco erections and then just lost it. And you can't really think of anything else. It just kind of blocks everything else out in your mind. Did we have any corrections?
Taco corrections?
Yes.
No. No. Not this time.
Not this time.
Not this time.
But we all definitely air it if we do have any. Any
And-
grievances. Taco grievances.
So what was that address again? You email it to? At
Taco
kNights?
Nights Podcast at gmail.com.
There you go.
There you go. You can also find us on Facebook. Facebook.com/Taco Nights Podcast. Just that simple. Same as the email address. And on the Twitter, which we haven't been on there recently. I gotta get back on there. On the tweets. I don't know what to tweet, but I gotta get there. At Taco Nights. No podcast. I believe that is everything. Is that everything?
That is everything.
That is all the taco wrote for this taco talk.
Brochachos.
Yes. I have been your host, Keikoa.
In this heat wave. Eh? Too soon? A little too soon.
There we go. Okay. The timing. Sorry, I'll throw it to you later.
And I'm Ben.
This has been the Taco Nights Podcast. Thanks for listening. Till next time.
Heat wave, brochachos. Heat wave.
Heat wave.